Chapter 18 is amines and amides, but we're only going to focus on section 1, which is amines. Amines are organic compounds that contain nitrogen, and many amines are found in dyes that are extracted from natural sources like tropical plants, including the indigo dye that's obtained from Indigofera tinctoria. In this section, we're going to learn to write the IUPAC names for just primary amines and then draw the condensed structural and line angle formulas when given their names. Amines, as I said, contain nitrogen, and in fact they're derivatives of ammonia, NH3, in which one or more of the hydrogen atoms have been replaced with an alkyl or aromatic group. That means that they contain a nitrogen atom that's attached to one or more carbon chains. Here we can see a nitrogen attached to 3 separate carbon chains. Here it's attached to 2 carbon chains and 1 hydrogen. And here it's attached to 2 hydrogens and 1 aromatic group. We can classify amines as being either primary, secondary, or tertiary, first, second, or third degree, based on how many carbons they're attached to. So a primary amine has just 1 carbon group attached to it and 2 hydrogens. A secondary amine has 2 carbon groups attached to it and 1 hydrogen. A tertiary amine has 3 carbon groups attached to it. So here you can see 1 carbon makes it primary, 2 carbons makes it secondary, and 3 carbons makes it tertiary. We're only going to learn the naming for primary amines in this course. So to name a primary amine, you simply drop the E at the end of the corresponding alkane name and replace it with amine, the same way we've been doing for many other functional groups. So methane, if you replace a hydrogen with an NH2 group in methane, you end up with methanamine. Don't worry about these common names again. With ethane, you can replace a hydrogen with NH2 and you end up with ethanamine. When you have 3 or more carbon atoms with an NH2 attached, then you need a number to indicate the position of the amino group. So in this case, we have a propane chain with the amine attached to the first carbon, so it's 1 propanamine. Here it's attached to the second carbon, and so it's 2 propanamine. So how do we write the IUPAC name for this compound? Well, again, it's relatively simple. You just identify the carbon chain that the NH2 group is attached to. In this case, it's butane. We drop the E, we change it to amine, so it's butanamine. And then we recognize that it's on the very first carbon. We would count from that side since it's closest to the amine functional group. And so this is 1 butanamine. Keep in mind that the NH2 group may be written with the NH bonds explicitly drawn like this, or it might just be written as NH2. We can also have aromatic amines. The fundamental or most basic aromatic amine is called aniline, which we've seen before, but you can also name derivatives of aniline. So if you have a bromine group here, this would be 4-bromoaniline. This is very similar to the other naming conventions we've come across. So how do we name these compounds? Well, here we have a 3-carbon chain that makes it propane. But we have an amino group, so we're going to drop the E and change it to propanamine. And then it's on the first carbon, so we'll call it 1-propanamine. Here we have the butane chain again, but now the amine group is on this carbon. So we would start counting here as number 1, because that's closest to the functional group. This would be 2, and then 3, and then 4. So this time our amine group is attached to the 2 carbon. So this is 2-butanamine.